Hello and welcome back to the Gaming Tech channel, everybody. We're live on YouTube and Twitch, and we're back with Forza Horizon 5. It's been almost 2 weeks since we have played this game, but we're back today. And that's because we were busy playing and completing GTA Vice City Stories. So if you want to check that out, I've made a playlist for that game, as well as GTA Liberty City Stories and all the other 3D GTAs. We've got it all up on the channel. But today we're going to be playing some good old Forza Horizon 5. We're only a month away, less than a month away from Forza Horizon 6, so that's pretty exciting. Can't wait to see what the game looks like.
Soon. Why not say hello to the other drivers whilst you wait?
But yeah, today we're going to be doing some seasonal championships as usual. Nothing new. And yeah, we're just going to drive around, build some cars and have fun. So we've got some seasonal championships. Let's start with the closest one here. It's got a Ferrari restriction. That's unique. We're in the RCF right now. We've got this thing supercharged. Built this a while ago. Normally this car is naturally aspirated, but this one is boosted. The supercharger really suits the V8. It's the Japanese Hellcat. Alright. So it looks like it has to be a S1 Ferrari. They're all rear-wheel drive mid-engine, so let's see which one we're gonna go with. 430, 458, or 488. I think I'm gonna go with the 458. Because it's NA, and yeah, it's just more balanced. We're not going to spin out as much. Less torque compared to the 488. Not that 488's any like worse than the 458. It's actually better, but in terms of just how the V8 puts down the power, the naturally aspirated V8, I think you can't beat that. This is also NA, but this is a little older now, so we're gonna go with the 2009 458. Let's go. I like the 488, but there's a slight turbo lag. Yes, it does feel like a Ferrari, but when it comes to these NA Ferraris, you just can't beat that, man. The V8s and the V12s. NA is the way to go. Not for every car, but for Ferraris, yeah. I know nowadays they're going with hybrid setups, which is also really nice. You don't get the delay from the turbos with the hybrid setups. You get the electric motor to kick in right away. There's no lag with that, so that's nice. I believe this 458 was on the cover photo of the Forza Horizon 2, if I'm correct there. So we have been playing with this car for a long time. Look at that power slide. I think this car is bone stock. I'm pretty sure it's stock. Did really well. We finished third, but that's totally fine. We can make up for that in the next two races. RS2 from 1995. Nice. I'm not sure if I already have that car or not. But even 5 years later, man, this game still looks awesome. Especially on every setting maxed out. Alright, we're gonna modify this car. We're not gonna go all out with it. Just maybe intake and exhaust. Just so it sounds better. So yeah, this is fully stock. There's nothing done to it, as you can see. Makes 562 horse, 398 foot-pounds of torque. Race intake. Alright, not bad. We get a little bit more induction sound. Oh, that sounds really good, yo. What? The sport exhaust sounds really good. What about race? That sounds really aggressive. And now the stock again. Stock sounds classy. This sounds very like Ferrari-like. So what's weird is that both the sport and exhaust give us the same amount of horsepower gain, 5 horsepower. But I think the race is going to be lighter. Yeah, it's lighter. So I'm not too worried about getting this car, you know, on a diet. It's all good. It can stay where it's at, basically. Because sport is already lighter than stock. I'm going to go with sport. Because sport just sounds right. It just sounds right. It sounds classy. A little bit louder. It's not like right in your face sound. So we're gonna go with sport. And I think I'm gonna upgrade the tire compound. Give it a little bit more grip. Yeah, just a little bit. Just semi-slick. Semi-slick race tires. Yep. That's perfect. It's gonna drop her 0 to 60 and 0 to 100. Nice. And I think that's all I want to do here. Nothing much. Yeah, I don't want to do anything else. Just intake, exhaust, and better tires. Better compound for tires. So we dropped down in weight a little bit and went up in horsepower by a little bit more grip. As I said earlier, we're just gonna take it easy with the mods. Because I still want this car to feel natural, you know. I want it to feel like how it came from the factory, but just a little bit better, so we can finish first position in all these races. Let's do this. Our handling and braking improved. I just didn't brake enough, you know, over there in the last turn. I just hit the brake a little too late. But other than that, like overall, it feels pretty solid. We're already at second position. That's a good sign. And now we're at first. Now we just gotta maintain this lead. Yeah, I braked too late there. That's better. Wait, that's not the next event. What am I doing? It's over here. Nice, the 1991 M3. Alright, where's the next one? Lancia. A B-class Lancia. We might have to buy one of those. I don't think I have a B-class Lancia for that championship. But we're gonna head over there and check it out. Do we have to take the dirt road? I kind of don't want to take the dirt road. Yeah, I kind of thought so. We're gonna have to buy one of these. 100K. Kind of expensive, but we got the cash, so let's get it. Another rally car in our garage. How about that? It almost looks like a Golf from the front. I know it's not a Golf, but I'm just saying. It just got that look. But it looks much beefier, of course. Those fenders, those arches. It's definitely wider and a little bit longer, it seems like. Nice wheels. This is a nice rally car. What color should we go with? Red looks nice. White also looks nice. Yellow also looks nice. I don't know. I'm gonna go with this color. I don't know why, but it's kind of unique, so it's different. All right. We need a different car, right? We can't make every car the same color. Red, black, yellow, white. We gotta try different things. All right, let's see how this car does stock. Our first time in a Lancia. So we got a boost gauge in the dash. Right in the middle, actually. That's a nice place to put the boost gauge. I really like the speedometer and the tach layout. It's back when retro cars were trying to look futuristic. This is kind of the theme they were going with. I like it. So of course we can tell this car is boosted. It's turbocharged. It sounds like a 5-cylinder to me. I could be wrong there. Almost sounds like an inline 5. It's got a good mid-range torque. I think everybody has the same car here. There might not be a lot of Lancias in B-Class, so that's why everybody's got the same car. I'm not sure if you have any more room to modify this car. It might already be at 700 B-Class from factory. If that's the case, we're just gonna have to keep it this way. Oh wait, there is a different car in front of us. What kind of Lancia is that? Even in third gear, around 4,000 RPM, we have plenty of torque. Thanks to the turbo. Wait, we're gonna finish third? That's okay. That's the first race. Car stock, and I'm totally okay with that. We can do better in the next 2 races. So we actually have a lot of room to improve this car. It's at 602. So I'm thinking bigger turbo. Bigger turbo and a little bit of weight reduction goes a long way for rally cars. That sounds really good. Integral? Delta HF Integral Evo? Never heard of it. It's my first time. I've heard of this brand for sure. But this car, never heard of it. It's my first time in it. It's from 1992. Wow. Cool. We're gonna go modify it now. That's gonna be a little too much. So stock is 210 horsepower and 225 torque, 2 liter. I don't know if it's 4-cylinder or straight 5, straight 4 or straight 5. Could be a straight 6, but I doubt it. Yeah, we're gonna go with the race turbo. It ups the horsepower and the torque. And let's make it a little lighter. Wait, I want to see what the stock 0 to 60 was. Six seconds flat. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's already pretty light. I mean, do we really need some weight reduction? We'll knock off another 61 pounds. Just street weight reduction. And shall we go with some rally tires? Yeah, we should go with some rally tires. And better brakes. Well, we have to keep it within B class, so we'll go with sport brakes. And I'm thinking we should go with, I'm gonna keep the diff stock. I like how it puts down the power, and we're not making that much power right now. It's well within 300 horsepower, so we're gonna leave that the way it is, but I'm thinking we should add a 10 speed in there. Yep, we'll go with a 10 speed, lighter drive shaft. and a better clutch. We can't do the better clutch and the lighter drive shaft, so we'll just do the better clutch and the better transmission and keep the driveline stock. Alright, that's what the setup is going to look like. Let's go ahead and get it. We might have to adjust the gearing. Let's see how it does first. Yeah, we're gonna have to adjust the gearing. I want it to feel like a rally car with super short gears. Much better. And with the bigger turbo, we're making more power up near the top of the rev range. And if you can keep the revs in the top of the rev range, that'll be really helpful. So that's why we're going with 10 speed and short gearing. Pretty good. Let's go to our next race, which is all the way up there. And this time we can take the dirt road, I don't mind. Yeah, we're maxed out right now. Not bad for 287 horsepower. That's pretty good. Do we still have that mid-range torque? Let's see. We do, but we have more torque and more horsepower closer to the red line now. Bigger turbo kind of just shifted everything a little bit, you know, up ahead in the rev range. The car really feels happy after 7,000 now. It's all just between 7,000 and 7,800. I'm going to leave the final drive where it's at, but I'm going to make each gear a little longer. Just a little longer. That's better. Before, the RPMs were only dropping about 800 RPMs. And now the RPMs are dropping by about a grand, 1,000. So we're holding each gear for a little longer. Sacrificing a little bit of torque for speed, which is fine. Because we're still making a good amount of torque around 6,000. Or 65, because we're shifting at like 75, it drops back to 65. Let's see. So if we shift at, yeah, a little over a grand actually, like about 1,200 RPMs. Okay, let's do this. This car did really well. All those little bit of mods really helped. Nice. Just got one more to go. These rally tires really make a big difference on these dirt roads. You can't tell the difference on like a regular road, but once you're driving on the dirt road and you're taking all these turns, that's when you can tell. On asphalt, they just feel okay, you know, nothing special. Wait, we're gonna finish 4th? No, that's not gonna happen. We're gonna restart. We need to finish 1st, man. Come on. Can we make some changes to the car? Let's see. I want to make the gearing a little longer. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining. We're gonna have to restart again. That's not good enough. So I'm gonna leave the first 5 gears, or actually the first 3 gears the way they are. And after 3rd, we're gonna start making them shorter. I'm gonna leave the final drive where it's at right now. Let's try this out. I'm gonna air up the tires a little bit. Now we're able to keep the momentum much better than before. Nice. Perfect. What a finish. That was good. We barely got that first position, but we got it. Fulvia? What kind of car is that? Oh, it's a Lancia Fulvia. Okay, Coupe Rally, yep, nice, nice. Rally Coupe. I think we still have a few more championships to complete, so let's keep on going. So we have actually four Lotus 6 Siege. They're all the same. What's different about this one? Wait. Why is this one a little bit lighter? That's because it has mods. Okay, got it. These three are still stock. So, I wonder if I could put a V8 in there. I don't know if that's an option, but let's find out. Since we have four of these, and we don't need to keep all four of them stock. We can keep one stock. We already have one slightly modified in top of A class. For this one, I'm gonna see if I can put a V8 in there. Yeah, that sounds alright, but we can make it sound better with the V8. I think that's a Toyota V6 in there right now, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's gotta be a Toyota V6. Wait, what? So I can definitely put a V8 in here. This is the AMG V8. This sounds so much better. 3-liter V8 racing. That's a weird way to put it. 3-liter V8 racing. So the racing 3-liter V8. Or we can put the Lamborghini or the Audi 5.2 V10. I think I'd rather go with a 3-liter V8. I think that's from the Atom. Aerial Atom. That just suits this car so much. Not a whole lot of torque. I mean, really low on torque, but decent amount of horsepower. We could twin turbo it, and that would fix all the torque issues. But let's see what it can get up to NA. Well, you know, it's still NA. So, about 200 more horsepower, you know, 202 horsepower more compared to factory, and maybe like 50 more foot-pounds of torque compared to stock. We were around like 268-ish, and now it's at 309. So, not bad. Little bit of gain there. All right, so I would be like what, 30, 40, 37 foot-pounds of torque extra, right? Yeah, but a little bit better in terms of torque, but a whole lot better if you're talking about horsepower. So let's see how this car does with just a better engine, nothing else. No suspension, no tires, just an engine swap to a 3-liter V8 bored out to 3.2 now, still naturally aspirated, so all NA. Still the stock transmission, 6-speed. Is it a manual? Yeah, it's a manual. Wow. Wow, those gear ratios are not that good. The first to second shift. Oh, dude. So, for example, if you shift at 6 RPM, RPMs drop to about 3,200. That's not good. I don't think we can fix those. Yeah, that's not really meant for this type of engine. We're gonna have to change the transmission as well. I just want to take a little break, mess around with some cars before starting the next championship year. So I am just gonna put a 10-speed in here because that's the way to go. 10-speed, race diff, a better clutch. Our ratios look alright. Let's see how it does. This tiny V8 revs all the way up to 11,000 RPM. Wow. It could use some better brakes. Our tachometer, it pegs out at 9,000. Literally just stays at 9,000 every shift. Doesn't even move. This thing can hit 200 miles per hour, wow. With only like 309 foot-pounds of torque. Well, it's the horsepower that's making us hit the top speed, but I'm just saying, the torque is low. But the weight of the car is also low, so that kind of makes sense. We still got plenty of horsepower. It's the horsepower and the revs that's making us hit all that top speed. Let's see how the car does if I make the gearing a little sharper, a little shorter. Can we use all of the 10 gears? We can. Is it gonna make it undrivable? Let's find out. No, it actually drives good. Does it feel any faster? Just a tiny bit faster, maybe. Let's see what we can do if we add the twin turbos. Would it be a significant gain? Yeah, 148 horsepower, that's not bad. Torque goes up by 90 foot-pounds, not bad. But can we increase that even more? Only by 39 horsepower? That's not a whole lot. What if we swap out the engine to the AMG V8? I know we could just go with the V10 in there and easily take this car up to 1200 horsepower. That's an easy 1200 horsepower if we max that V10, but kind of don't want to put a V10 in there. Sounds really good with the 3-liter V8. Why can't I rev the engines and check out the sound? Now I can. these other sounds just don't suit the car. This suits it really well. Yeah, we are gonna just get the turbos here. It's all good. Max out the turbos. I don't want anti-lag. And let's make the car lighter. It's already light, but we can get it down to 2229. That's super light. Let's put on some better brakes and better tires. And that's it for now. I mean, we pretty much maxed it out. Slick race tire compound. Nice. I'm gonna leave the width stock for now. No aero. Actually, I kind of want to take the rear wing off. Are we able to do that? No, we cannot do that. So yeah, let's just leave it the way it is, and that's it. Let's see how much faster we made it. But before we do that, I'm going to set a marker to our next event. Let's go do this right here. Alright, since we added the turbos, we're going to have to revert our gearing that we did here. I'm going to put it back to stock, default. A little bit longer gearing is always good for turbos. This 3-liter was NA. It felt really balanced, but now it's just a freaking monster. Now you kind of have to be careful on turns. So I tried this Purgio last time. It was a fun little car. We have tried the newer 911 Rally a bunch of times, so let's give this 959 a go. I don't want any of these cars to feel left out, so They all deserve a chance. How did we miss that checkpoint? We just started the race. Dude. I think that garbage bin got in the way. All these Porsches sound so mechanical. I love it. Not like the SUVs, because you know the cabins are pretty isolated. But all these sports cars and rally cars, I love these mechanical sounds that they make. I mean, just hear that. Listen to that. Hear that? What am I saying, bro? Yeah, would you listen to that? That sounds great. Mechanical gear sounds with a mixture of turbo noises. That symphony. So good. So I just noticed that the boost gauge is right in the middle, inside her tack. That's a pretty good place to put it, you know. Your RPMs and your boost is right at the same spot. And nothing is digital, it's all analog. 1 Series M Coupe. We already had one of those. We got 3 in total now. 2 are stock. 1 is modified. Yeah, let's go back to the Lotus. 20 shift. We got a wide range of selection here. What are we gonna pick? Should we go with the M5 that's been converted to rear-wheel drive only? Or should we play it safe and pick an all-wheel drive? I don't know. I don't know. You know what? We're gonna go with the rear-wheel drive M5. What is this cyberpunk looking map? We got cyberpunk inside Forza Horizon 5? What's going on? We've got 0 understeer. Literally none. Only oversteer when we need it. Thanks to the rear-wheel drive conversion. Well, I believe in real life, you actually don't have to do the conversion or anything. You can just disable all-wheel drive and have it run rear-wheel drive only in this M5. Same with the newer E63s. Not long ago, this wasn't an option, but I think what model is this, like 2020? Yeah, I think we got this after 2020. So it's been 6 years. There's a little bit of cyberpunk feel and a little bit of Hot Wheels. We got a little bit of everything. This car's doing better than I thought. I thought it would be all over the place with the rear-wheel drive, but not really. But again, power levels are still stock, so maybe that's why. the chassis can easily handle 600. 600 horse and like 550 torque, something like that. Wow, these set at 300. Tiny little car. Is that first Isetta? Isetta 300 export? That might be your first one. I think you can make them really fast if you do an engine swap. I'm not sure, but I think that's a possibility. That is our first one. Okay. I don't think you can purchase this car. You can only win it through a championship or a wheel spin. Look at this thing. Wow. You get in through the front, you open the hatch. And it also does have a safety roof, if you want to call that, in case the front gets damaged and you can't open the front hatch to get out. You can remove that panel up top and get out. So that's kind of cool. I did see a video about this on YouTube, so that's how I know. We do have 2 wheels on the back, okay. The track on the back is just narrower than the front. It sounds like it's gonna go really fast, but it doesn't. Let's go. Pedal to the metal. It's got 4 gears? No way. $55 miles per hour? 4 gears? This is not bad at all. I could see cars like this coming back with today's economy. Gas prices are all over the place. And you know, people might go back to cars like this, who knows? I'm pretty sure this barely takes any gas. Yeah, 0.3 liters, 300 cc's. I mean, we got motorbikes that have bigger engines than that. Hayabusa's got a 1.3 liter. This 0.3. Wow. 1/4 of that, bro. I mean, almost. You get the idea. That would be 1/4, right? Yeah. Well, 1/4 of 1200, but this is 1300. So that's what I'm saying. You get the idea. Oh, it does a little wheelie when you shift the gears. Not a wheelie, but the front wants to lift up. Okay. £920, so like 400 kilograms, something like that. 350 to 400. Yeah, I want to see what the engine swap options are for this car. Wait, what? So we can put a Hayabusa engine in here. 1340 cc. Wow, that's more than 1300 cc's. we're gonna do that. Oh wait, we can put this in here? How would that even fit? What would be a better option? I mean, of course this has more power. We can make this all-wheel drive and add that rally engine. No way. No way. We can get it up to 380 horsepower? Oh no, we can get this up to 579? Dude. Alright, I'm gonna keep a sleeper. We're not getting the anti-lag. Dude, we can almost get this thing up to 700? 668 with 682 torque? Wow. This is gonna be really fast, I can tell you that. This is gonna be super fast. Let's go with the race. Springs and dampers. Roll bars, yeah, since you could use all that. Stiffness. Front and back, yep. Chassis reinforcement, yes. The handling is still 1.9. 10 speed, of course. Lighter drive shaft and race stiff. The best tires we can possibly have. So we're gonna get the best launch with these drag tires, as we all know. But do we really want drag tires on here? That's the real question. I mean, yeah, because even if you go with slick race tire compound, our handling is not really that great. So I'm not even gonna focus on handling here. We're just gonna go all out on grip and make this into a full-on drift car. I mean, a drag car, not a drift car. Put the widest tires on here. Yep, the widest we can go is 155s. Those are so skinny still. They look wide on here because it's a tiny car. So the stocks are only 115. And we can see your aftermarket brakes sticking way past the tire. Now with the wider 155s. Okay. I'm gonna leave the stock wheels on here. Give it that sleeper look. So the stock wheel size is only 10 inches. Wow. And the max we can have on here is 14. Damn. Okay. I like the bumper, but is it gonna get faster if I remove the bumper? I don't think it matters because it's so light and we have so much power now. We'll leave the bumper on there. In the rear carrier, to carry your luggage and stuff. I'm gonna leave that on as well. Apparently your braking gets better if you take it off. And or 0 to 100. Okay. So if all that stuff is going to improve. Oh no, that's with the spoiler. Yeah, we're not getting a spoiler. Yeah. So I'm not gonna worry about taking that off. Never mind. And we're keeping that bumper on as well. We're gonna make sure it looks factory. This thing is gonna be so fast now. Alright, this is the setup. We're straight going from D class to S1. 883. Let's go. This thing's gonna be so fast. We need to make that gearing longer. Like, much longer. It just runs through all these gears like it's nothing. 2 seconds flat, 0 to 60. Wow, that's good. Without doing much to the setup. That's really good. Wait, that's so fast. I need to make the gearing even longer. I'm gonna have to manually do that for each gear. .9 0 to 60. Wow, and 4 seconds flat for 0 to 100. 3.5 for 0 to 100. Wow. This thing's gonna get super fast. So what I don't understand is why does it top out at 215? Is it the aerodynamics or the weight? It might be too light. Too light and not the right shape to go that fast. Only 1,200 pounds? That's less than 600 kilograms. Like 550 or so. Okay, that's fast. We gotta take this thing to the Drake Strip, man. Do we have more events that we need to get done? We still got the trial, I think. Yeah, but other than that, I think we completed everything today. Alright, let's drive to the trial. Barely touching the throttle. Like, barely. Maybe by 5%. Now we're pedal to the metal. In 6th gear. There is a drag strip here, right? Let me see. Pretty sure there's one. Does anybody want to race me in my tiny little car? Alright, let's do a test run. I think we can improve on that. What if you make the suspension high again? So it can squat a little more, you know? Only make it high in the front. Let's try different setups here. Which one does it like it more? So yeah, we're gonna just have the rear lowered all the way. And the differential, we're sending 60% power to the rear. How about if we send 75 to the back? 1.6 0 to 60, nice. What about 80%? Okay, well, 75% is pretty good. What about just 70? Okay, 75 is the best. And now, what if you make the gearing a little longer? 1.6 flat, dude. That's nice. That's real nice. 3.30 to 100. Wow. All right, this might be your best setup. What's that little thing doing? Want a race, man? Why did I hit rewind? That was so silly. Let's do a jump. Should we do a backflip? No, but we landed fine. What a fun little car. 911 GT2? You want to race, bro? Is that the GT2 RS? Alright, let's just switch to our Lotus and we're gonna continue to the trial here. Let's get it done. We're gonna go over there in the Chaser GT. I was gonna pick the Lotus, but let's pick something else, you know. Alright, starting in 2 minutes. And that's a perfect time for me to crack open my window and drink some water, so I'll be right back. And I'm back. Still got 30 seconds to go. Hopefully we have the right kind of car for this trial. Let's see. So I'm going with the Lotus here. This is a different Lotus. Pretty much stock when it comes to power. A little bit extra from stock actually, as you can see. But it has aero and some tires, so I think it's going to be a good car for this race. air was really hurting us on the top end. So I only had one other teammate, which kind of sucks. I mean, we weren't far off. The other team had 350 points. We had 300. And my only other teammate left, so it's me against 6 people. Let's see how this goes. Oh, wait. That was a great race. Just me against 6 other people. Nice. We just have to do that one more time. Nice, 125k. Let's do this. No way. I had enough passes, enough points, and we won. Nice. Team Blue wins. There we go. No freaking way. Just us against 6 other people, but we got it. All because we didn't give up and put in our best effort. So that just shows, you know, if you don't give up and put in your best effort, it can go a long ways. What a race. The 2006 RS6? Or was it the 2003 RS6? I think it was the 2003 RS6. Let's double check. Yeah, we got 2 of these now. We got this one right now. And we already have this. Nice, nice, nice. Do we still have any other events left? Let's check it out. I think we have completed everything. I think that's it. I think we got it all done today. Right? Yeah, maybe something's hiding from us. We'll double check here. But I don't think so. Yeah, that's it. That is it. Alright, we're gonna call it a session here. It was a great session. We got lots done. It was fun. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.